This is a question. Why does he have a watch on? Isn't that a watch?
How dare you? Impossible. Stop.
What is that?
It's jewelry.
It looks like a watch. I mean, maybe it's jewelry, but it's on his wrist, and it's a circle, and it's with a band.
Right.
I mean, what is that?
Mini Antikythera mechanism.
It looks like my watch.
It does.
It does.
That's crazy.
But, of course, the explanation is like, of course not. Just jewelry. But it does look like it, doesn't it?
Well, it just makes sense that if they developed weapons and they developed clothing and they developed shelters, if they had the sophistication to be able to construct these buildings, why wouldn't they be able to construct a watch?
Right.
An automatic watch.
I want to quickly talk about this clip because it demonstrates one of the big traps that people often fall into when they're considering our ancestors and the extent to which they had great civilizations and therefore almost sort of ranking people in terms of their progress. Yes, the Sumerians achieved greatness in terms of architecture, clothing, warfare, tools, music, art, culture, so on and so forth. But that doesn't mean that they had to do wristwatches along with it. We did. We managed to turn up wristwatches alongside architecture, art, culture, etc., etc., connected with some very specific cultural requirements, not least accurate timekeeping for navigation purposes. But they didn't have to. It's the different types of progress, different possibilities, different directions that societies can evolve in that actually is one of the best things about history and studying the past. For example, the monumental constructions at sites like Tikal by the Mayans without the use of a single wheel. We needed wheels to make similar constructions in our civilization, but they did not. A complex, undeniably impressive civilization that simply solved problems in its own way. You don't need a wristwatch just because you have complex architecture.